Well, welcome everybody to another episode of the Talents of Learning Customer Ed Nuggets podcast series. I'm independent learning tech analyst John Lay, and I'm hosting today's show with a special guest host and customer education expert, CEO of Thought Industries LMS, Barry Kelly. Today, Barry and I are going to dig deep into the top reasons why customer ed organizations deploy a headless LMS. Barry, welcome, and thanks for joining me today. It's great to have you here.
Thanks so much, John. Absolutely delighted to be here.
Well, this is a great topic. It's super popular, Barry, as you know. You guys have been innovating in headless LMS scenarios in customer education and professional education for quite a few years. And it's one of the reasons that I wanted to have you on the show today here is just to share that unparalleled level of expertise in this. But for those people that may not be familiar with Thought Industries, we only have a few minutes. Give us a 20, 30-second flyby.
Thanks, John. Yes, as I said, my name is Barry Kelly, co-founder, CEO of Thought Industries. We're just celebrating our 10-year anniversary here as a company. Thought Industries, a learning technology company focused exclusively on external learning. So we work in customer education, partner education, and we work helping organizations where training is their core product to help them deploy, grow, scale, and run and power the business of learning.
Headless LMSs have been around a long time. They just weren't very popular in corporate and customer educations or applications until fairly recently, in the last half decade or so. This session we wanted to cover the reasons why organizations would decide to go headless. Why would they make that decision of not just using an LMS out of the box? But before we can go there, maybe we should just set the stage quick, Barry, and find what a headless LMS is.
Absolutely. Yeah, happy to. Again, at a very, very simple level, in the technology, it's where we separate the front end experience, the user experience of the technology from the back end, which is the brains, the processing, the hosting, the security, and all the information. And the reason for that is to help organizations completely change, customize, manipulate, and stretch what is possible for the front end user experience.
For sure. Not every organization needs a headless LMS, not even close. However, most of the industry's most sophisticated customer ed LMS deployments are headless. Why? Barry, you're the guest. What's your most popular reason why organizations go headless with customer education?
My first sort of, area of real value is around flexibility and customization. That's where it starts, right? When you're unhappy with the way that the user experience works in your LMS or your technology or your learner experience, when you want high levels of customization to meet with your brand, when you want to bring information and data and a whole experience into the process, that's where headless becomes really powerful. It's also important that, you have some developers in-house. And someone asked me this question before, is it weird for, an organization that's running education to have developers? I would say, well, how many organizations in the world have Salesforce developers on their sales ops teams? Lots of them, right? So it's not something that's alien to most, but it certainly is important. So I would put it a little bit like this in terms of flexibility. It's not, if we think about it today, flexibility, we think about it in the web browser, but we need to think beyond just the web browser, right? We certainly can make manipulations to websites and web's experiences through headless, and we're going to do that, and we'll talk about that in a second. But headless also allows you to build, highly unique and customizable mobile apps. They allow us to create custom web apps. So if you think about building an embedded learning experience inside a software product, the headless technology is going to allow us to be able to build those custom apps. It also is going to allow us to build learning experiences on proprietary platforms. Think about point of sale systems, automobile operating systems. The world is going to learn way outside the browser in the future, and they already are. And those organizations need a framework to build learning experiences where all the brains, all of the data, all of the structure and hosting is there. So what it does is it gives you the ability to make has a lot of flexibility in terms of how you customize the experience. 3 quick ways. Number 1, I just want to edit something on a page. I don't like the way a widget looks. I don't like the color. It's not reflecting my brand properly. You can simply make an edit to the experience. Number 2, I want to take a page in the user flow and I want to just completely rebuild it. I don't like any of it. I want to build it from the ground up with all our own technology, our own design, our own widgets. Or number 3, another very exciting area is We just want to build our own entire learning experience on top of the platform. So maybe someone wants to build an LMS company on top of the Thought Industries Headless framework, and leverage all of the technology and of the brains that have been created in there over time. So it gives you tremendous amounts of flexibility to be able to do what it is you want to do to give your users the best experience and give you the best business outcomes when they're required.
Okay, Barry, I'll take number two. I like a business focused experience as one of the reasons. And that's when organizations aren't using the learning management system as a destination to send learners to, but rather the LMS or the front end or the new head of the LMS is a combination of LMS data and information from other systems in the ecosystem, all brought together in a dashboard in a cockpit for that particular learner, whether they're a learner, instructor, a manager, or delegated administrator. It gives them everything, or a customer service rep, or a sales rep, or a sales partner, everything that they need to see from their performance of their clients or customers, integrated with the training data that they need to take formally, informally, or throughout the day. That's my vote for number two, a business-focused experience. Barry, what's your number three?
Yeah, I think personalization, as we talked about a little bit earlier on, I think, obviously personalization is something that's critical to all learning experiences today. And personalization is happening in many, many ways. We're doing it today in our technology, even outside of Headless. But I think it allows organizations to create highly bespoke, journeys and information specific to that individual. So we can think about individuals as cohorts. We can think about individuals as they're in their role. So I'm a business owner, I'm an analyst, I'm a designer, I'm a content creator. Learning is going to be focused and provisioned specifically to me. It also allows us to bring in, as you mentioned before, third-party data. So if you think about a scenario where I may be a learner that is a content expert, and what we want to do is be able to surface information that's coming from third-party products that will help influence your learning. So maybe it's data on your engagement with a piece of software that you use that you're learning. So here's the 4 features that you haven't unpacked yet. Why don't you take some learning to understand what those are? Here's your level of engagement with the existing features of our product. Let's level you up to super user in those areas. So we're able to create these very, very specific scenarios for the learner and for personalizing the information. There's also personalization for the admins, as you mentioned before. So if you think about organizations that have very unique grading or instructor specific requirements, where they're creating custom interfaces for graders, instructors, mentors, or there's even, as you think a little bit about administrators, where you want to control the administrative interface for those people, your clients or your customers. Those are all sort of possible as we think about personalization. So incredibly powerful, and personalization is going to be heavily impacted by AI coming soon too. So we've got a perfect storm of all sorts of stuff. We're going to be sending people to the moon very, very soon with this stuff. So very, very exciting, and I think a very, very powerful outcome of the headless approach.
Standing there, you have it, folks. Flexibility and customization, a business-focused experience, personalization are just some of the favorite reasons why we think customer ed organizations like to decapitate their LMS. Listeners, do you have other reasons for customer education LMS deployment we haven't mentioned? Wouldn't surprise us. Tell us about it in the comments below or in the online poll if you were reading our online post. I want to offer a special thanks to customer ed expert Barry Kelly, CEO and founder of Thought Industries, for his time and educated perspective. Barry, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Glad to be here. Thanks, John.
Awesome. You can find more about Barry's Headless LMS solution at thoughtindustries.com, and I encourage you to do so. We also have a bunch of information at Talented Learning, independent research on Thought Industries that you can review. Listeners, watchers, thanks for tuning in to another episode, and we hope to see you on the next. Hopefully, you know a little bit more about Headless LMS and the reasons organizations want to deploy them. And you can find more of our fiercely independent content at talentedlearning.com. If you want to listen to Customer Ed Nuggets on the go, subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Android, or many other of your favorite platforms. Information is in the comments below or description below. Thanks all, and we hope to see you on our next weekly installment of the Customer Ed Podcast Nugget Podcast series. Have a great day, everyone.